This has been my dream. I've been basically begging to be in these movies for years now. I have a great video of me like running around my house squealing when I got the news that I got to be part of this franchise. It's just, I hold it with great esteem. They're films that make you want to go to the theater. They're films that you want to go with your family, and that matters. That's really fun to me. They're things that we eventize, and I think that I really personally value that. I love discussing them and talking about them with my friends and family, and so my friends and family are truly freaking out over this. They finally think I'm cool. You know, it all was figured out that I was going to be in the film. I got this text that said, "Can you go to Vince's house for dinner tonight?" And I was like, "What?" And I showed up, and his 3 kids were at the door, and they immediately were like, "Brie, I want to show you this. I want to show you that. You got to meet the dogs. You got to go on the trampoline. You got to do this." And then eventually came down. And he was like, "Oh, I see you've met like the true minds behind the franchise." And I was like, haha. And then I sat down at the dinner table, and they like all sat across from me. They said, "So what will you be bringing to the Fast franchise?" And I was like, I would love to know. Like, you tell me, what can I do? And we had this great conversation, and I ended up going over to their house many times, going to his eldest daughter's birthday party, and I got to become close with them before I ever set foot on the set. And I think that's just a testament. It's all part of his process too. I don't think that was an accident. That's all by design. That by the time my feet were there on that set, I felt like I belonged to be there. I felt safe, and I actually based my character off of his daughter. There's obviously the aspect that there's been representation from the very beginning, which was just like unheard of at the time. But then you also have this growing spectacle. You have incredible stunts, fast cars, all of these things that are really fun to watch. But at the end of the day, it's about family. It's about like standing up for one another and having each other's back. And there's real values within the films. And I think that that's ultimately like what brings people to the theater. Tess is Mr. Nobody's daughter. She is technically agency, but she's kind of a bridge in a way. She doesn't go along with the way that the agency's headed now that her father isn't there, and believes in the legacy that her father set up, which is standing with Dom, standing with the Toretto family, and is fighting for that. She ultimately loses that battle pretty early on, and then goes on her own mission to do what she feels is right in her heart. I was trying to be super professional, you know? It's like, this is a franchise that I love so much, and I like wanted to come in and have like a clear point of view and show that like I had something to bring to something that's like so good. Like, it doesn't need me, but I wanted to bring something to it. And so that moment when he took the cross out is just the most surreal moments of my life, and I just fell over. I fell onto the ground. I could not be cool. There was no recovering from that. And then I felt embarrassed, but luckily he was moved by it and thought that, you know, it was sweet that it meant so much to me. Oh, I was totally welcomed. And it was amazing. I mean, I was like immediately invited to hang out with them, dinners, barbecues, and they were just so fun and easy and welcoming and like down to hang. And it's an amazing thing. Like, they've all known each other for so long, been through so much together, and they've also been playing these characters for so long that they have all of this deep knowledge. And so I was the new kid at school, just excited to like sit at the same bar as them, drink tequila and pick their brain.